Muse. It's me. You know me. We can dispense with the introductions, I think, at this point. If not, we have more problems than I realize. I want to talk about something with, probably not with you, Muse, but I'll talk with you about it. But this is really addressed to the artistic community at large, especially the writing community. We as a country are at an impasse. It's been boiling under the surface for centuries. And that thing that lives just under the surface has been empowered over the last 4 years. I'll let you figure out why. That's a 2 and 2 you could pretty easily put together. And the tensions in just about every community on the planet are at an all-time high, especially in this country. And I know that I speak from a point of privilege because I'm white, I'm male, I live in America. And I have tried to use that privilege to speak truth to those that need to hear it. And this time I'm going to speak a truth to a very specific community. We have a job to do. We writers. Our tool of choice, I almost said weapon, but I'm trying to avoid using anything of that nature. Our tool of choice is words. We use them in such a way as to bring about fiction in such a way that people can escape the reality that they have chosen to live, or the reality in which they did not choose to live in. But nevertheless, we offer a respite from the tension and the hatred and the villainization of innocent people. But we can use our words for so much more. And unfortunately, there are people in our community who use those words for less than productive means. They use those words to spread lies, to continue forward an agenda of hatred and divisiveness. Now, I know that we live in a country that has a First Amendment and people have the right to speak their truth, whether it's actually truth or not. But the problem is sometimes that truth runs counter to humanity. And sometimes that truth just simply runs counter to truth. And I know that within every community, there are people that instigate. And that instead of spreading love and acceptance, they choose to spread hate and lies. And I also know that this is a double-edged sword. Here I am talking about acceptance, while at the same time, I'm insinuating that we shouldn't accept those that espouse hatred. And that hatred through bigotry and racism. Because, let's face it, you cannot espouse love and kindness and humanity and community through hatred and bigotry and racism. You can only espouse hatred. So, I realize that there is just the slightest bit of hypocrisy involved here. That I am trying to tell people to learn to accept, while at the same time saying, I don't accept those of you who don't accept. But the truth of the matter is, not accepting racism and hatred and bigotry and homophobia, well, I'm okay with that. Because those ideas run completely counter to humanity and to the spirit of this country. The spirit of this country. This is a nation that was founded on bringing in those who cannot, those who have not. Bring me your tired, your poor. You know the poem, The New Colossus, that is engraved at the base of the Statue of Liberty. But the problem is racism is so profoundly woven into the weft and warp of this country that removing it is going to be a chore. But a chore that we must undertake. And we, as artists, must endeavor to do anything we can to make this happen. And in some cases, it's just a matter of not writing characters in our works that are racist, or at least not writing them in such a way that puts them in a positive light. Sure, you can have a character in your book that starts out as a racist, but that character better either suffer the consequences of that ignorance or learn and grow and step beyond that cloud of hatred. But more than that, we need to hold our fellow artists responsible. Because the time for standing in the shadows and letting things happen is over. You might be like me. You might be a white male, and you might enjoy the privilege that goes along with that. And with that privilege comes a responsibility. And with that responsibility comes the act of calling people out and holding them responsible for their racism, their hatred, their bigotry, their homophobia. The list goes on and on and on. And lately, there have been people in the writing community, people that even run a publishing arm, that have been busted, have been brought out of the shadows and shown for the racist they are. And at one point in time, that might have been frowned upon, but now is not that time. Now it is time to hold people accountable for their words, for their actions, and for their beliefs. I have always thought that the world, the artistic world, be it theater, be it writing, be it painting and poetry, be it music, I've always thought this world was a world of love and acceptance, of humanity and heart and soul. It's one of the main reasons that attracted me to becoming an actor so long ago, because I stepped into an audition and I saw how much kindness and heart and love and acceptance there was to have. There were men, there were women, there were black, white, gay, straight. There was a cornucopia of different types of people there, and I fell in love. And that saved my life. And since then, I have believed to my core that the heart and soul of artists was bereft of such hatred. But the truth of the matter is, it's not 100%. There are people within artistic communities that share those despicable beliefs. And it is on us to hold them accountable. So if you come across an artist of any sort who holds hatred in their heart in the form of racism, misogyny, sexism, homophobia, you know the list. Call them out. Hold the mirror up to their faces and say, this is who you are, and it is not acceptable. Not now, not ever. We are artists. We are better than that. We, in general, have a job. And that is to heal the heart and soul of people when other means fail. When the church, when parents, when education, when friends, when loved ones, when those fail, sometimes art is the only path to healing. And we cannot heal if we hate. So yeah, this is a frightening, frightening time right now. And I hope that each and every one of you will stand with me and stand against racism and hatred. Thank you for listening to me. And thank you, Muse, because without you, I wouldn't be here. And I appreciate you, and I love you. And I love every one of you out there listening. You are my friends, you are my family, you are my fellow artists. And together, we will help heal this nation. And in doing so, we will be awesome.